Hi, welcome to the C&T Auctioneers YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some steel helmets that we've got coming up in our October auction. The first item I want to talk about today is this really wonderful and historically important steel helmet we have here. So first of all, to look at it, you'd think it's just a standard World War II German M40 steel helmet. But as you can see, it's got this green overpaint finish. And if you notice, these Belgian national flags painted to each side. The inside of the helmet, you'll see is just a standard configuration with standard leather liner, German liner and German chin strap. But on the helmet is written in French, in old ink with the labels here. And basically it's saying that this helmet was worn by a Belgian resistance fighter of the name of Antoine Martinet. And he was killed in autumn 1944, and this helmet is a remembrance of him, and the label actually says that this is the helmet he was wearing when he was killed. Now you might wonder why a Belgian resistance fighter would be wearing a German helmet. It was quite common for the resistance troops to wear captured German uniform and equipment, more so they didn't stand out probably to the enemy in their case. There's famous pictures of the Polish resistance wearing German helmets with big Polish eagles written on, painted on rather. So it's very, very similar to this. This is a really, really wonderful item, and hopefully should do very well. And hopefully we're going to try and aim to get it to some very good private collections or some historical museums that I think would be interested in this, just because of the resistance nature of the item. It's so rare. I'd like to say a big thank you to Sander van Wassenhove of Bevo Militaria, who did the translation for me on the label. So thank you, Sander, it's very nice of you to help us there. So the next item I'm going to talk to you about quickly is, most of you people may recognise this. This is the British Paratrooper helmet, webbing strap variation. Very, very similar to a World War II example. This one, however, we would say has been used in the post-war years. As you can see, it's got a painted insignia here, which is probably for a territorial unit with the airborne forces. But what's nice is it's got the original camouflage net, and it has the green and black camouflage paint finish, which you often find with the British Paratrooper helmets. If you wanted just a display piece, you would get away with this as saying as a World War II style, so certainly not look out of place in a World War II display. But in our opinion, this is just post-World War period. So moving on to a much more, what we call more modern conflict. This helmet, to most people would think, is just a standard American M1 style helmet. But actually this is a helmet worn by one of the Argentine soldiers who served on the Falklands Islands. And the helmet has the original camouflage net and the black rubber band on. Really, really nice, iconic piece from the Falklands War. Items from this conflict are becoming more and more collectible nowadays, and these helmets are really sought after, especially when they're like this with the original camouflage nets, completely untouched as they were being brought home. Again, you see it's got the original lining inside and the original chin strap. Really, really iconic, nice piece this. And back to World War II now. This is an American helmet worn by the American air gunners on the Flying Fortress aircraft. This was done for protection for the air gunners, so they could wear their flying helmet underneath and have a steel helmet in case of attack. Again, many original period pictures of these being worn during World War II by the air gunners and the air crews of the Flying Fortresses. Again, nice. It's got its webbing type lining, and as you can see, it's got these ear cups here to protect, to go over the earphones, etc. Again, a little bit of wear and rusting to the outside, but it is a real good original example from World War II. So now we're going to go back to World War I, and this, as many of you probably know who are watching this video, this is one of probably the most iconic helmets from World War I. This is the French Adrian pattern helmet. This example retains nearly most of its all blue, horizon blue paint finish, which is very, very nice to see. And the badge on here is with the cross cannons, which is for artillery soldiers. Now, many of these you find have these brass plaques on the front. They are basically for like a veteran association, so it was a case of you as a veteran of the World War I and you wore this plaque on your helmet, because the French soldiers were allowed to keep their steel helmets. They didn't have to hand them in. So many of them mounted these on And as you can see, this one's probably been proudly displayed as it's been hung up on a wall at some point, probably by the original owner of the helmet. Interior is nice, has the original black leather liner, little bit of wear, a little bit of rusting, and you can just make out a slight name in the back here of the helmet here, which is again a nice little touch you can see. But good classic World War I steel helmet. And we'll stay with the World War I theme. And here we have the German M16 pattern steel helmet. So this one again retains a lot of the original field grade paint finish. Very nice example with the original 3 leather pads in the liner, and you can tell it's an M16. Well, people say they're all M16s, but this one is with the leather band, which was for 1916. In 1917 they changed it to the steel metal band, of which that's a lot of collectors refer that to as the M17. But this is a good classic M16 with the leather band, leather liner, just a nice example. Has remains of a chin strap here, but this is more like a pickle haul chin strap as opposed to a steel helmet chin strap, but it's how it came into us, so we've left that all on there. Again, nice, honest example of a World War I German M16 steel helmet, and these are something that aren't around as much as they used to be. They're getting harder and harder to find, especially nice examples, so look out for this one. It should be quite a good example for someone. So, going back now to World War II again, and this is a very rare helmet. This is for the British Civil Defence bomb disposal, and they have this, what they call the quick visor, to be able to stop from splinters and bomb fragments coming out and hitting the operators in the eyes. So it was a very interesting tool. Works on a spring and it lifts up, and it's really quite rare to find now, these helmets, because they were done in small numbers, because obviously only used due to certain elements of the civil defence. The helmet has the original liner in here. We have got the top pad, but it has become loose, unfortunately. It's congealed. Original chin strap, but again, very rare to find these helmets now with these visor shields. There was a few years back quite a few copies made of these shields, so collectors, you have to be very careful when you're looking at these and you find these, because yeah, lots of copies around and they're very good. Normal way to tell is they can't quite get the paint right, so the quality and the aging, that's the only thing that tells them apart really. So good thing to look for. Even if you don't buy the helmet, go onto our website, have a good study of the pictures, just so you can familiarise yourself with what an original one looks like. So now we're going to move to the German civil defence for World War II, and we have again quite a classic steel helmet here. This is the Luftschutz helmet. So for the Luftschutz, which was basically the German air defence, as you can see, this is what's known as the gladiator pattern style helmet. Just by the format of the helmet, that's what they refer to as the gladiator pattern. Nice example, a lot of the original blue paint finish, original winged decal here with the swastika and Luftschutz written over the top. The Luftschutz took over from what's known as the RLB, and this was the later type, which is called the Luftschutz. Inside, nice original liner. As you can see, it's almost like the World War I style with 3 leather pads, different to the German combat helmet as such. Nice original strap on it, which again is often missing. Generally just a very nice example of the German equivalent of the civil defence helmet. Again, something that were quite common some years ago, but again getting much harder to find, especially ones in really good condition like this one is. So again, look out for that one. And like we showed you earlier, an M16 German helmet. Just want to quickly show you this one, which is hopefully you can see, it's got these battle damage imprints on here. This is a very typical Souvenir helmet. The reason I say it's Souvenir is, as you can see on the front here, it's written AEF with some writing which we can't quite decipher. It looks like numbers 7-28 is what it looks like, and the date 1918. So this would have been probably the date that the American soldier, because obviously AEF stands for American Expeditionary Force, picked the helmet up from the battlefield. Maybe he was the one who shot the German soldier, we don't know, but certainly there are 2 bullet entry holes here right in the forehead section. The helmet does retain a lot of the original paint finish. and inside you can see it's quite frail, but there is some of the leather liner still in place. And like I said about the earlier M16 helmet, you see you've got the leather band here to denote it's an M16 style helmet. The front forehead one is very, very damaged, which would probably indicate that the soldier unfortunately was wearing this at the time of the incident. But all these items really are souvenirs of battle. We have to remember that, and the Allied soldiers and even the German soldiers, they used to take souvenirs from the battlefield because it was very important to them. So this is a very much a classic battlefield pickup German World War I steel helmet, and you know, it is a nice combat example, one that's definitely seen the front lines. And the last helmet I'm going to show you today is this very, again, classic World War II German steel helmet. Contains nearly all of the original combat paint finish, which is this nice dark finish. Original single decal German army decal here with the silver eagle with a swastika. As probably you know, the naval ones have a gold eagle and the Luftwaffe ones have the Luftwaffe eagle as opposed to this style of eagle. Good single decal, what we call single decal helmet here. Has the original liner, however the liner is very, very worn and has lost a lot of the tongues, as you can probably see. This helmet has been what we've called an official refurbished helmet, so at the time took back in and refurbished for frontline service. So all the original combat paint finish has obscured the initial shell markings, so they can't be seen. But a really good, honest example of a German combat helmet here, and again, something that really aren't around like they used to be, especially ones with very good decals. Okay, the liner is not the best, but as to sit on a shelf for a collector, it's a perfect example really. So very good helmet, and should attract quite a lot of attention when it comes up in the auction. I hope you've enjoyed this short little video that we've done for you today, showcasing some of these items. Please press the subscribe button, and if you like this video, like the video, or any comments you want to make, we're welcome to see comments made on this video. Thank you once again for tuning in. We hope you enjoy.